Hello friends, today I will share you the process of installation and configuration of Kvm on CentOS 7. Before starting the installation and configuration, let's understand what is Kvm. What is Kvm? Kvm is kernel-based virtual machine that turns a Linux server into a hypervisor. It was merged into Linux kernel mainline in kernel version 2.6.20, which was released on February 5, 2007. KVM require a processor with hardware virtualization extension. These are the commands that we are going to use it. Now let's start the installation. This is the KVM machine which we will be using it. Minimum 6 GB of RAM and 2 processors is required, but I have taken it 8 GB. Here we need to enable this virtualization settings. Without this, KVM will not work because KVM only support the virtualization. So this is my VM on which we are going to start installation of KVM. The OS and everything is already installed on this machine. Okay, now this is the I have started the machine. Login as root and the password is Red Hat. You can see that the by root the base machine is VM01. This is my hypervisor on which I will install the KVM. Here there is a KVM store in which we will be storing all our KVM files, like the disk files of the servers and everything, the snapshots and everything. This is the IP address. Now let's using putty, let's log into this server. Yeah, this is a kernel. It is higher kernel. The partition KVM store again. It's 35 GB free space and the IP address. Okay, let's start the KVM installation. Before starting KVM, ensure that your CPU supports KVM or not. You can see that the CPU are supported with KVM. Ensure that yum is already configured. I'm using my old default CD. I have made it a local yum and I have configured it. Now we will install the packages that is required for KVM. Okay, the packages installation is completed. Now we'll enable the libvirt service. Sorry, it is not libvirt, it is libvirt D. Okay. Before starting the service, let me just show you that currently there are only 2 Ethernets. When we start libvirt service, we will see few more Ethernet card. Okay, let's enable start this server. Let's check the status. Here you can see there are 2 Ethernets. The bridge Ethernet is enabled now. Now we have to do some network settings. So let's go to the network folder, etc sysconfig network scripts, and now here we will do some kind of Ethernet changes. First we will we'll change our Ethernet configuration. Bridge type is equal to VRB R0, and we will hash the IP address, prefix and gateway. We'll hash it because we will require again for creating the Ethernet, the bridge network. Let's copy the same file, fconfig hyphen VRBR0. Okay, now let's do the changes in the bridge configuration. First let's change the name, that it is ENS32. Let's change it to VRBR0, VIRBR0. Now type we have to change it to bridge. And now we will enable the IP address, remove the hash, so that our bridge network will work fine. And let's save the file. Now we will enable the IP forwarding in the CCTL configuration. We load the CCTL configuration. Here you can see that it is enabled. Now we'll change the bridge network setting. This is the default IP address for every bridge networks. So we will change the IP address. Now the DHCP. The reason for opening you again showing this thing is that if you do any kind of changes, any kind of mistakes, it won't allow you to save it. It will prompt you. See, here it is prompting you that there is some kind of mistakes. So you can correct the mistakes and you can use it properly. Okay, let's add the routes, because route is also required. Okay, now let's reboot the server. Okay, now the server is up and working. So this is the ISO image that we will be using it. Change the ownership, change the and move it, keep it into the temp directories, so that it will be easy for copying and everything. This is the VRT install. The first that is given is a network, then second that is the machine name, the OS variant, the RAM, CPU, disk path on where we are going to store the image, the size of the disk, graphics, location of the ISO image, and the extra. For OS variant we have to use this command. We cannot give anything. This OS info query. Yeah, this is the CentOS 7. You can see. Okay, now I will remove the hash so that I can perform the installation of my new machine. This is my first KVM. Okay, it has started the installation. This is the escape character. I will share in details once the installation is completed. We will be performing text-based installation. You can see the explanation marks that are required. So first, that are required to be completed. Once it is completed, the explanation mark will change into cross. Let's start with the time settings. 2, and now I will select 1. Okay, the time setting is completed. Now the local disk installation, local destination on where this is the partition. This I am doing next, continue to install. Now let's go and set the host name. Set the host name. I will give the machine name, that is VVM 01, and the Ethernet setting. I want the Ethernet to be enabled after reboot, so I will select 7. And now this is done. Now the last thing is pending to create, to set root password. My root password was red hat, that was the reason it was showing B again to begin the installation. The installation is started. It takes some time to perform the installation, but in this case I have skipped some part of installation so that we don't waste our time in seeing the installation. It is just the installation step, installation going on. Yeah, the installation is completed. Just press enter. You can see that it is shutting down the machine. This everything is on the KVM console. So you can see the booting screen and everything. This is the console. We are on the console of the machine. You can see the host name, it is VVM01. The IP address is by using the default IP address. So this is the process of coming out of the console. You have to use control plus closing bracket. See, now I am on the hypervisor. VRSH list, it will give the only this machine that is running. Now we'll shut down the machine, the virtual machine which we have created. If we run against the same command, you will see that we won't be able to see anything. For that we need to use a flag called -all. Here you can see the shutdown machine also. Let's start the machine again. Okay, the machine has been started. Let's go to the console of that machine. Okay, before going to console we require the ID. The ID is 3 over there. So you can see that machine is booting now. Now again I am on the hypervisor. Now we will perform the snapshot. I will show you how to take the snapshot of the virtual machine. Now we have this is the command for taking the snapshot. Okay, snapshot has been completed. It is little fast. Here you can see the snapshot name. This is the snapshot timing and the state, it was running state. Now let's log into the console. Okay, now I will just create one file because it will not take a lot of time, but it is like a snapshot only. You can restore your complete machine if anything goes wrong. I have created a file ABC. Now I am on the hypervisor and now we will do the restoration. Snapshot revert, that is the command that will revert everything. Yeah, you can see the restoration is completed. Let's log into the console. You can see that file doesn't exist. Okay, the BC file is doesn't exist. Let's come out of this machine and we will delete the snapshot also, because unnecessary it will take space. Let's check whether any snapshot exists or not. Okay, there is no snapshot. Let's clone the machine. Before cloning, let's suspend this machine. The test VM1. You can see it is in suspended state. This is the cloning command. The original machine and the destination machine and the location where you want to keep the files. Okay, cloning is completed in 12 seconds. The new machine has been created. Test VM2. The machine after cloning it is in shutdown state. Let's start the machine. Let's resume the old machine. Okay, you can see our old machine is up and running now. Now let's go to the Kvm store. We'll create a disk. This is a raw disk of 2 GB. We will attach to our Kvm. So this is the command for attaching the disk to the Kvm. NVDB, it is a virtual disk name. Let's go to the console. Here you can see the disk. You can see the disk, new disk that is added. Let's perform the scan: PV scan, VG scan, LV scan. The new disk is not visible now. Now let's create the PV on the new disk. The PV is created. Now we will create a VG, and now next it will be the LV. Okay, now we'll create the file system on the new disk. Okay, now we'll mount the file system. You can see the file system is mounted. It is not always required that we need to go to the login to the VM and check the disk detail. Now see, I am on the hypervisor, and now using some commands we will see the disk detail of what are the disks that are attached to this VM and what are the mount points. So this is little more, it provides little more information about the disk and everything. Even we can know the what is the free space used. So it is giving everything, the capacity and everything. So now let's go again this, and let's remove the disk. Let's remove it from NVM also, so we don't face any kind of issue. Remove, and now PV remove. Okay, now let's come out of the hypervisor, so VM, and we will detach the disk from the VM. Now we are on the hypervisor. This is a command to detach the disk. The disk has been detached successfully. Now you only can see the old two disks. Now we will start the machine, the second clone which we have created. Okay, the machine has started. Let's go to the console. You can see the machine was booting. It was taking some time to boot. Now we are on the hypervisor again. Now we will delete this machine, because deleting is again a different task. First we will shut down this machine. Let's undefine this machine. The machine has been shut down. Let's undefine this machine. And let's destroy this machine. Okay, the machine has not destroyed because it was in running state. These are the location where all the logs and everything is kept. You can see the old machine logs also. Okay, thank you.